Shalom Makim Wa'akwaf. I want to start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Baruch HaKodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well. And as always, peace and salutation to the hopefully elect tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, y'all can hear me. I'm just doing it impromptu as I'm, on my way to the camp. But just a few things that I wanted to say, and it was in response to the video that the elder brother, the head brother from the Baltimore camp, Karak the Zaba, he had did a lesson in which it was a response to that black thugged out hippopotamus over there at the ISUPK. I think he might be second or third in command under General Yohana. But basically, he was having a class and he was, speaking to his the members in his congregation, saying, if you was a stick-up kid, if you murdered a few niggas, if you broke in a couple of houses, you in the right place. If you thugged out or was thugged out, you used to be a tweaker, and you used to be on that shit. You was a dope head, and you in the right congregation. So basically, this dude had no shame in telling his men that if you was a degenerate, if you was all the things that the scriptures say not to be, then you good over here. I don't know what righteous man would take pride in gathering those type of guys. Now we all know that before this truth we all was worthy of sin. We all was dead in our sins, our iniquities. We did certain shit that we wasn't supposed to do. But that's why the scriptures say once we come into this thing, we put off the old man. We become a new creature in Yahweh Shai. All things are become new. But that old man, you're ashamed of him. So for this guy to sit up there and say what he said, this just goes to show you, the spirit that's over there. It remind me of those dudes that came up against the house of Jason in the book of Acts. I believe in, I don't know if it was in Thessalonica or in Ephesus, one of those Greek provinces, but they were described as being lewd fellows of the baser sort. These men, they didn't give a shit, man. They're causing riots and shit. They were criminals. But ISUPK, that's the home of all the degenerates, man. The ex-cons, the thugged out niggas, niggas who did harm, and you can tell that spirit, even though they're under the guise of being Israelites, so they might have cleaned themselves up a little bit, but based on how them dudes move, you can tell that some of that spirit and energy is still there. Them niggas are a bunch of goons. You see how a couple years back how they handled the situation with the brothers in the Pittsburgh camp. When they came against those brothers and basically tried to run them off their own corner. And that's what they known to do. They'll preach on another man's foundation and be very disrespectful. So some of them dudes, they're in the right. The dude is right. They're all in the right place. All right, that's the house of Saul, man. And I also thought about the parable when the Lord basically said in Matthew the 13th chapter, I believe it's like in the 40s, where he basically said the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a dragnet. He cast it into the sea, and it gathers, every kind, the good and the bad. This nigga, he talking like, he wants all the bad. He want all the shrimp, he want all the catfish, he want the clams. And that's what they gonna get, because that's what spirit is over there. It tells you that in Sirach the 13th chapter, it tells you that all flesh consorteth to each other, one another, and every man will cleave to his like. So if that was a spirit that you was in, then you'll feel right at home if you over there. Because that seemed to be, the criteria for the men that's over there. On your resume, you got to have, robbed a few niggas, and you used to snort coke and go out there and just do crazy shit. You did some years, you got some years in the pen up under your belt. You done did your time. That's the type of niggas that they want to appeal to. So hey, be the house of Saul, while the house of David is gonna wax stronger and stronger. Because we're not concerned with just any old person, man. We're here for the elect. We're here for the fruit that's gonna remain. Fruit that's meat for repentance, man. It almost sounds like that nigga is saying, if you Barabbas, then you in the right place. And we know that Barabbas was chosen over the Lord. He was a thief. He was a criminal. I think he was a robber, a killer. And Jake said, "Free Barabbas." So clearly, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is not with those dudes, man. But I just, these are just different thoughts that came to my head. After watching that video, I watched it, but I had to, get going because I'm on my way to the camp right now. And I was like, I know I ain't gonna be able to sit down and actually do the lesson, so let me just, turn the camera on my phone, while I'm impromptu on my way to the camp, But man, that guy's a complete bug out, man. And that's who Yahana chooses to represent his congregation. This is the same clown that said, if John the Baptist was a plate of fish, pass me the hot sauce. Totally disrespectful, man. We talking all crazy, to the men of his congregation and shit. That guy might be very well be an agent, just how he moves. And I've never seen him without shades ever. So what exactly, could this man be, hiding? That whole congregation, because we know that the light of the eye, the light of the body is the eye. But if that eye be full of darkness, then the body is filled with wickedness, man. The Zaryak and them, they doing lessons indoors, but everybody got shades on, with the light on. So clearly, there's a dark spirit over there at that camp. But, they're in disguise, man. You got those that preach Yahweh Shai of pretense. You got dudes that's preaching Yahweh Shai because they got ulterior motives. They ain't it for filthy lucre's sake. They're there for the bag. They're there for clout. They're there to get famous. They want to be on TV. They want to lead captive silly women laden with iniquity. It's all type of different reasons. But hey, we don't want our camp filled with a bunch of niggas, who used to be niggas, and then when they come into the camp, they pretend like they cleaned up, but really those qualities still show that, they still grimy ass niggas. And any of those dudes that surround us, guess what happens? They get purged out. The spirit find them out quickly, and they get put out. We had certain dudes like that amongst us in Great Millstone. Some former street niggas, who learn the truth, and then they endured for a while. These were just men crept in unawares, man, ordained to that condemnation. But if you ain't right, the Spirit is going to figure you out and you're going to be sifted out. All right? Because we ain't finna have no attachments, to us. The scriptures tell you, if you be buffeted for the gospel's sake, for Yahweh sake. But we're not gonna suffer as a murderer, as a thief, as an evildoer, as a busy body in other people's matters. That's not us, man. We're to be blameless. So we're gonna surround ourselves with men that are blameless. And that's not to say that certain brothers in our camps didn't have a past. That's not what we're saying. Yeah, hey, you had publicans and sinners that did come to Yahweh Shai, and they did get cleaned up. You had zealots, dudes that was ready to tear shit up, tear the Roman Empire down, but then they repented. And they didn't glorify in that once they, converted and came into the congregation of Yahweh Shai. They were men of peace after that, Because the scriptures say to agree with thine adversary quickly. We got to be at peace with all men if it be possible. And the Lord didn't have a bunch of men, with swords on their thigh. That whole moment when Yahweh Shai told him to get 2 swords, that was for prophecy's sake why he did that. The Lord didn't have him do that because that's how he was moving. But apparently this same group right here, that's how they move. Because the Lord ain't with them, man. So when the dude said that, he wants, former tweakers, smokers that used to get high and niggas that used to break into homes and stick motherfuckers up. The dudes who didn't caught a few bodies. You're in the right place. Well, hey, I think he's right. All right. And you gathering all those that's gonna be gathered for the furnace of fire. All the chaff, especially with all the bullshit, the trash that y'all teach. Yeah, you gathering all the undesirables that the Lord don't want. So I advise any of you dudes out there, if you with that energy, you with that spirit, man, then hey, go over there with the ISUPK, man. Make sure your garment is all black. Make sure you get your shades extra dark. And go on over there, man. We ain't gonna tolerate that spirit over here. You're completely a new man over here, man. This is the tabernacle of David being rebuilt. All right. But anyway, I'm not gonna make this a long video. I'm almost at my destination. I don't live too far from the campsite, so I just want to just do it. Basically, this is like a response / impromptu to Karat Zaba's video. Those dudes are hella carnal, man. And our carnal mind is enmity with the Most High. Those dudes are completely carnal, man. All right? And that's why they're telling you to take that damn Formikia potion. Because they're carnal. They don't have no faith and they don't have the spirit. All right? So anyway, that was just on my spirit. Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters were fed. And I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shai. And to the next lesson, Shalom.